Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the English Flow podcast. Today's episode is designed especially for upper intermediate learners. That means those of you who can already communicate in English quite well, but want to rise to a higher level of fluency, independence, and self-confidence. I'm really glad you're tuning in, because in this session we'll be tackling a common challenge, something that so many learners struggle with, maybe even you. It's the strong belief that in order to truly master English, you must have a speaking partner. Have you ever caught yourself thinking that? If only I had someone, preferably a native speaker, to practice with, then I'd finally become fluent. Now, that reasoning sounds pretty convincing, doesn't it? After all, language is a tool for communication. It feels natural to assume you need another person sitting across from you to make progress. But here's the surprising truth. That idea is actually a myth. And when I say myth, I mean a mistaken assumption, a belief that sounds right, but isn't. This particular myth has kept thousands of learners stuck in place. It has disappointed countless students. The reality is that you don't need another person at your side every single day to improve your spoken English. In fact, you can become fluent entirely through your own efforts. And in some ways, solo practice you do independently, can be even more powerful because you're the one setting the pace, choosing the topics, and directing your focus. You're no longer dependent on someone else's time or energy. Let's pause here and think about why more traditional approaches often let learners down, especially those studying on their own. When I say let you down, I mean they don't deliver what you're really hoping for. Maybe you've been in a classroom with 20 students where everyone takes turns and you personally only get to speak for 2 or 3 minutes. Or maybe you've had a friendly speaking partner who never corrected you, so you ended up repeating the same errors again and again. Or perhaps you've depended on the occasional chat with someone online. That might have been fun, but it didn't provide the repetition you needed to grow. All these methods can leave you feeling like you're spinning your wheels, because fluency only develops when you speak consistently, every day, over and over, until the words come naturally. So what's the alternative? What's the other option available to you? The answer is self-directed practice. Self-directed simply means you take charge. You act as your own coach, your own guide. Once you step into that role, you can build a fluency routine that works every single day without depending on anyone else's availability. You can practice whenever you feel like it. One of the most powerful strategies I recommend is what I call the inner conversation method. Don't worry, that sounds fancy, but it's simple. It just means talking to yourself. It's about taking the thoughts already in your mind and expressing them out loud in English. For example, imagine you're making breakfast. Instead of just cracking the eggs in silence, you start describing your actions out loud as if you were narrating a short story. I'm cracking 2 eggs. The pan is warming up. I think I'll add a little salt and butter. By narrating your own life, you turn your thoughts into spoken English. You become the storyteller of your everyday activities. Another great way to apply the inner conversation method is when you respond to something you watch or listen to. Say you're watching a news clip. Don't just passively absorb the information. Instead, talk back to it as if the reporter asked for your opinion. You might say, I don't completely agree with that. From my perspective, the issue is more complex. By replying out loud, you simulate a dialogue. It's not real, but it trains your brain to react quickly, just like in an actual conversation. And then we have self-dialogues, which are especially effective. A self-dialogue is when you play both sides of a conversation. It might feel a bit unusual at first, but trust me, it works wonderfully. You can practice explaining, debating, or even storytelling. For instance, imagine you're describing a film to a friend. So the main character wants to leave the city, but he doesn't have enough money. You can then switch roles and ask yourself a question like, why doesn't he just borrow it? By practicing both parts, you rehearse the natural flow of English conversation without needing another person at all. Of course, technology today makes independent practice even easier. Now we have AI conversation tools, like ChatGPT, that are available anytime. Imagine it's late at night and you suddenly feel like practicing how to order at a cafe. With AI, you can do that instantly. No waiting until tomorrow's class, no scheduling conflicts. And beyond that, many apps today create personalized learning paths, which means they design practice activities specifically for you. They analyze your progress and suggest what to work on next, so you're not wasting time on material you've already mastered. Instead, you focus only on the skills that will move you forward. So let's talk about what your daily fluency plan might look like. A plan, or blueprint, is just a clear routine you can follow. And here's the good news. It doesn't have to be complicated. Even 15 minutes of focused, steady practice each day can completely transform your fluency over time. Think of it like exercise. You don't build strong muscles by going to the gym once for 3 hours and then never returning. You get stronger by working out a little at a time, regularly, week after week. The same principle applies to English. So what could your routine look like? In the morning, as you're getting ready, narrate your actions. I'm brushing my teeth. I'm choosing my shirt for today. In the afternoon, listen to a short podcast or video and then give your reaction out loud. Share your own opinion. In the evening, practice a short self-dialogue, such as telling an imaginary friend about your day. This morning I was busy. First, I worked on this, then I had to handle that. That way, you've practiced speaking English 3 separate times throughout the day, all without needing anyone else. Here's another powerful strategy. Track your progress. Tracking means keeping a record of what you do. For example, once a week, record your voice and save the file. At first, you'll hear plenty of mistakes, but after a few months, when you compare those recordings, you'll hear clear improvement. That's incredibly motivating. It gives you the fuel to keep moving forward. And this leads us to the long-term picture. Fluency is not something you achieve in one giant step. It's something you gradually build, piece by piece. Think of it like building a house. Brick by brick, word by word, sentence by sentence. If you keep showing up every day, even with small efforts, you'll create something strong and lasting. So, let's circle back to today's main question. Do you actually need a partner to speak English every day? The answer is no. You can absolutely build fluency on your own. What you need are the right methods, such as the inner conversation method, self-dialogues, and narrating your daily life. You need the right tools, like AI practice partners. And above all, you need consistency plus a clear vision of your goal. Remember, every single time you speak out loud in English, you're exercising your fluency muscle. You don't need anyone's permission. You don't have to wait for a partner. You already have everything you need to begin. So here's my challenge for you. The moment this podcast ends, say something out loud in English. If you disagree with something I said, voice it out loud. That's fine. Summarize the episode in your own words. Try a short self-dialogue or describe the very next thing you do. Begin your daily solo fluency journey right now, because the best practice partner you'll ever have is actually you. Thank you for spending this time with me on the English Flow podcast. I'm Leo, and until next time, keep practicing, keep improving, and most importantly, keep believing in yourself. Take care for now.